Hello, all my friends in TV land. This is Senior Issues, etc., and I'm your host, Vita Verdon. Well, you know, we're open to always bring you things that are innovative and things that you can learn from. And we're proud to have a new organization and present them because I think it's something that is really needed in our community, and I think it's something that you could learn from. So I'm really proud to have the people that I have with me tonight. I have two young men, you know, at my age, everybody around me is young. These two young men with me tonight. And what we're going to learn about, what it is the Mundelein Arts Commission. And these two good-looking young guys who are sitting next to me is Stan Gershner and Jeff Justman. And so what I'm going to start with is I'm going to start with Stan. Why don't you tell our audience out there a little bit about yourself?
I'm a retired engineer. I used to work for the IBM company, but ever since I was 16 years old, photography has been part of my life. Mm-hmm. And when I was 16, I took a photograph that wound up on the Daily News because I was born and raised in New York City. Uh-huh. And they sent me a check for $250.
Really?
And I said to myself, that's what I want to do the rest of my life. And my parents said to me, you have to have a career. I said, what's a career? So they listed out careers. So I chose engineering, but never ever gave up my love of photography.
Oh, that's so nice. And how about for you, Jeff? How about telling us a little bit about yourself?
Okay, I'm Jeff Justman, and I've been a musician since I was 9 years old. My father told me when I first learned to play guitar, it's a lifelong endeavor. I'm a retired banker after being in banking for 40 years. And now that I've retired, I'm spending my time bringing my music and helping to spread the arts in the community to make the community a better place.
Well, now bringing up the Arts Commission, why don't you tell us a little bit about the Arts Commission? I know it's a fairly new organization, right?
Yes, it is. The mayor of Mundelein last year decided that he would like to promote the arts for all levels of people, seniors as well as other people, and advertise for people to come and fill out an application for the Arts Commission. And I applied and I was chosen. And the Arts Commission started last year in August.
Okay.
We meet every third Monday of the week. And by the way, our listeners, your listeners, are invited to come to our meeting and partake and ask questions in the beginning.
Where do you meet?
We meet at Village Hall in Mundelein.
Well, where could they find out when the meetings will be?
The meetings are the third Monday of every month from 7 to 9 p.m. But it's also should be listed on our website. We are a group headed by Joyce Lee, and we have
She is your chairperson?
She is our chairperson, correct. And we all have different assignments that we have decided to do, and I will talk about that later.
Oh, so you're launching it now. You're going to launch something with Jeff right now, I know.
Correct. Jeff, by the way, being a musician, came up with an idea called Open Mic. And as a result of that, he has promoted a whole host of different talents to partake. And one of his talents is playing the guitar.
Okay, so you're going to give us a little sample of that,
sure,
Jeff?
Sure. I'm going to play, in my life, a little more jazzier version of it.
Okay. was very nice.
Thank
You're
you.
going to tell us a little bit about open mic?
Yes. Being on the Mundelein Arts Commission, I thought it would be very good for the commission to promote people in Mundelein as well as the surrounding Lake County communities to, from a grassroots level, express their talents, demonstrate their talents, be a community that entertains itself. So we came up with the idea for a Mundelein Arts Commission open mic nights, and we're in the second series of it. We have businesses in the community that generously donate space for these open mics, which we're very thankful for.
Is
And
it different restaurants?
Yes, the first group we had at Area General Store in the spring, and we held the first series of 3 open mics. Now we're holding open mics in this autumn series at El Barrio Restaurant, also in Mundelein, and we have another
So
restaurant
the
planned in
open
the spring.
mic is any kind of talent? You're
Any
open
kind
to
of talent.
Any kind of talent.
You
It isn't
can-
restricted to instruments.
Anything goes.
Anything goes.
Burlesque, maybe not burlesque, but anything else goes. You can be a storyteller, you can be an actor, you can be a poet, you can be a writer and give us a reading. You can play guitar, you can play saxophone, you can play violin, you can play a Native American flute, whatever you'd like.
Well,
12
do you
minutes.
have to book this, or they
Yes.
just show up at the place?
No, as the commission made the decision that we are only going to do advanced bookings,
Okay.
and we post it all around Mundelein as well as
So it's posted, so you have to be booked, because you just can't show up and go and do it.
no.
Okay.
This way, it makes it so it's more of a performance showcase of your
Okay.
talents, but it is open to anyone.
Uh-huh.
Right now, we just had one last night. We had 10 acts. We have another one November 5th. We have actually, that one's booked, and we have another one December 3rd. That one's wide open for people to contact me.
Do they contact you?
Yes, they contact me.
And how do they contact you?
We have on the poster, we have my village website, email address.
Okay, maybe you could give our audience that.
Do you have the flyer?
Sure.
All right.
Okay,
so
it's
the-
J. Justman,
okay.
J
Ju-
Justman
Okay.
at email.mundelein.org.
All right. Now say it again.
J. Justman, spelled Justman at email.mundelein.org.
Okay, you've got that. Now, anyone interested, you have talent, this is one way of getting in there, and this is one way of displaying it, and
Right.
this is one way of connecting. Now we're going to get back to Stan, and what Stan is going to tell us, you're going to give us some basics about the Arts Commission, aren't you?
Correct.
Okay, so let's go into that. You just look right in that camera and you tell our audience about it, because I know they're interested to hear it.
Well, what's interesting about the Arts Commission is we are extremely varied. You saw Jeff play music, but we also have very talented people in all forms of the art, from photography to you name it, as part of our commission. Our goal, very simply stated, is to make Mundelein the place that you want to live in, you want to dine in, you want to shop in, but more importantly, to enjoy the arts. And that's what our Arts Commission is all about. We are promoting the arts in Mundelein. We've taken on various projects. For example, Jeff, as you saw, took on open mic. I've taken on the project for being able to communicate more about the arts. And one of the projects that I worked on was a kiosk, which has been put into the planned budget for 2018.
Now, would you say that again?
A kiosk.
What is a kiosk? That's what
it-
my audience is going to ask.
It is essentially a board which will describe all of the activities that are going on in Mundelein
Oh,
from an art standpoint
From an
for
arts-
seniors all the way down to lower level.
but there is a program that's open for seniors.
Correct.
Seniors
And
can
it's open for
participate.
everyone.
It's open for everybody.
Correct.
We have quite a few, for example, in the open mic, I would say 60% of the participants so far have been seniors.
So
The more the better.
So right now, like you're advertising it, so you're just at the grassroots level of it, and you're off to a good start.
Yes.
With this open mic is helping to stimulate it.
Yes,
Right.
we've also had a writing contest
Uh-huh,
and a playwriting contest where we staged the plays. And again, what we're trying to do, it's not just for Mundelein, it's for Mundelein
it's for
residents,
the whole
Lake County.
entire area to
It's
connect
correct.
it.
It's to make Mundelein not only a hotbed of art, but also to make it a destination for
Well,
arts.
we're going to go deeper into it, but right now, what I'm going to bring is my Vita's Pearls of Wisdom. And in my Pearls of Wisdom, there's a couple things I'd like to talk to you guys about. One thing I want to talk to you about is in your medication. Now, in your medication, to make it easier on yourself, that instead of if you have like a variety of medications and you have a 30-day implement on your medications, call the pharmacy that you're getting it at until, say, I want all my medications to go on a 90-day program. And so then you don't have to be going and refilling it every month. That's going to be beneficial to you, especially in the wintertime when it's hard to get out in that icy weather. Now, another thing that you will say to your pharmacy is, I happen to get all mine at Walgreens, but I know that every pharmaceutical outlet like Costco or Walmart or any one of them, they have the same services. Tell them that you want it on automatic refill, and that means that you don't have to remember at the end of your prescription that it will just go on automatic refill, and what they'll do is call you and give you a notification that that medication has been refilled. Now, this is just going to save you a little bit of that brain work so that you can turn that brain work over to the Arts Commission and go and do something creative instead of spending all your time on worrying if you had this prescription refilled. That's one thing that I want you to do. Now, the next thing I want you to do is that, you know, that people call me with all kinds of questions, and I try to give them, and, you know, I don't know everything yet. But I don't know everything, and I don't think I ever will. But what I've been able to do is go and research. But if you want to check out things, if you go to the website, seniorissuesetc.org, and just scroll down on programming, then when all the boxes, those little boxes that pop up, will show you, also it will tell you what every show is about. So like, on all the things we've had on voting, on all the things that we've had on prescriptions or from Catholic Charities, all the programs that are available on Blue Cross, all the programs that are available, all that data is down there, and you could use that as a research tool. So go and utilize that. Also, if you have any ideas that you want, we're open to any ideas. I'm booked pretty far in advance, but I always find a way of squeezing things out. And if it wouldn't be for my viewers, we would not, with us group of old fogey volunteers, have a show to bring to you. So bring us any of the ideas that you have. They're welcome. They're certainly welcome. And if you're interested in joining us, we have a training program, and we can help you fit in, or you don't even have to know any training. We could use you in some factors, because there's all kinds of things that we can have done. Right now, I'm looking for somebody who can help us with social media, and somebody that could help us in computer skills. So my email is Vita Verden, small casing, VITAVERDEN, at Comcast.net. You could email me. My telephone number is Vita Verden. It's area code 847-573-1233. And it's always a joy for me to meet you in my travels. I know. I was in. This happened to the producer and I. We happened to be in the Salvation Army store way up in Zion, and some woman came up to me. She says, "You look like somebody on television," you know. And because I don't have an audience here, I forget that she was talking about me. I thought, well, who could she say that I'm looking at? You know, it took me a little while. All of a sudden, the light. Oh, she's talking about me. She's talking about me. You know. So, you know, I feel like I've gotten to know you after all these years and know what you want. But I like to have the communication. So keep those emails coming and keep those. Keep the emails coming. You can call me at any time, and you know we'll try with any kind of problem. And we'd like to try anything that's innovative and new. And we'd like to bring forward any new company that is getting started for the betterment of our community. Because you know our goal is to keep it going and keep the community going, and that we're all connected to one another. And this is how we fulfill wholeness in our community. Now let's get back to these young guys and see what they're going to tell us about what they're doing. Okay, Dan, now we're going to go into it. You're going to go into the programs, and we know when you started. You started last June, and you're developing right now, extending different programs, right?
That is correct. We brainstorm. That's how we got started, talking about ideas that would be good for seniors as well as whatever age group. And as a result, we developed a list of these projects, which I'll talk about, and people raised their hand and said, I'll take that on. So one of the projects that I took on was the kiosk, which will be an information board. We've yet to decide where they'll be located, but people will be able to go to this and see programs that they could get involved in. It'll also be on our website, but there are a lot of people who don't like websites.
Well, first of all, where will this information board be?
We haven't decided on the locations yet. That's to be determined as part of the project.
Well, it will probably be listed on your website.
Correct.
So why don't we rename what the website is? Let's give that website out again.
Okay. It's www.mundelein.org.
Okay, it's www.mundelein.org.
Correct.
All right. Now on this website, it has all your names and all the programs and everything listed, all the information listed.
You'll be able to find information about current activities that are going on.
Okay.
But it will not show the stuff that I'll be talking about,
Because
which is planned
Okay,
stuff.
that's in the developmental stage.
Exactly.
In the embryonic stage, it isn't quite, it's about ready to be birthed.
Right.
Let's put it that way.
Like, for example, Jeff talked about the writing that we were doing.
Yes.
So this is a book, for example, that we just published for the writing contest that we had. So if we've got seniors out there or whoever, youngsters, would like to write, we will be having another writing contest in the future.
So the writing contest stimulates the writing, and you also had included, like, if they want to write a play or something.
Exactly. This was the information.
The writing, all the information on the writing.
Exactly. And this is the result of, we published a book. So it basically are people who...
So it's starting to grow.
We actually, this past week,
Yes.
we staged 3 plays that people wrote, and they had directors and actors, and staged the 10-minute play that they wrote, the 3 that won the contest.
Okay. So the play was produced, or
Produced,
it hasn't
directed,
been
no,
produced?
we had 3 plays that were actually produced and directed and acted on Thursday night of this past week. And we held them at Village Hall in Mundelein. We had a crowd there of about 50 people. We're open to moving to larger quarters if more people show up. And 3 plays were presented,
Oh, that's good.
written, directed, and presented.
Oh, that's really good.
What's interesting also is that 3 of our members who are part of our commission live in Grand Dominion, which is a community of active adult seniors. It's in Mundelein. And that's, I find that fascinating, that seniors are actively involved in our community. So let me tell you about some of the other projects
Oh,
that,
yes, I
that
would
we've
like
got
to, I'd
going.
like our audience to know some of the other projects.
We're establishing a database of local artists.
Okay,
So if your listeners out there, they're saying, hey, I'm whatever, they could be put into our database, and we would love to have them as an artist in our database.
and they could get to the database by going to the website.
They could, you also have Joyce Lee's information. They could contact Joyce, and Joyce
And
could
is that on
arrange
the website?
to get them into it.
So that is established at this time, so you
No, we're in the process of putting that database together.
Oh, it's being put together.
Yes, so you've got members out there say, hey, I've got talent, I'd like to be part of that database. We would like to put them into that database.
But the process in which they do it is to go to the website.
No, it would be to contact
Joyce Lee or,
Joyce Lee.
well, still the process would be go to the website, and through the
Eventually,
website,
yes.
they could contact Joyce Lee,
Right.
and then Joyce Lee can direct the people how to get into the website. Is that correct?
Right, you're correct, you've
Okay.
got it.
Okay, we're going to go through that one more time. What this commission is doing right now is gathering data to produce a database that people could contact. At this point, it's contacting the website, and it's contacting Joyce Lee, which is your chairwoman,
Correct.
and through her, she will give them the data that's next to, that when you have that available, that they could get into the database.
Yes.
Correct.
And then
Like
that
if you're
way,
for- if
they
you're
can connect with you and other artists
It
that are
also,
involved.
it also gives your community, if they're interested in whatever, they could go into that database. They'll say, oh, here's someone that I could talk to about writing or poetry or playing the guitar or photography or writing, whatever it happens to be. That database will contain all of that talent.
Which would be building a virtual community online,
It's a community.
a virtual community online.
It's a community online. Oh, that is really the future. I can see this thing like growing, and that is the future of what will happen. Now, this is part of the function, is to make all these connections. This is the place where you are now, is you're establishing these type of connections.
Exactly,
right?
exactly.
Oh, that is really interesting. Maybe you can tell us about, in the process of you brainstorming, that you can tell us a little bit about what the vision is for the Arts Commission.
Well, it's really very diverse. For example, we feel also that people should be exposed to art. So we have a project we call murals. So our goal is to put murals, hand-painted murals, on various buildings within the Mundelein area.
Oh, so it's going to be hand painting on the buildings?
Yes.
Oh, that's
Now
really
that
going to
takes,
be.
this is an initiative that's a startup, obviously. We're working through the legalities of how do we get permits allowed for murals in the village of Mundelein. And what's the screening process of who do we hire to do murals. And the Arts Commission is going to do the first mural, and we're working on that right now in the footwork and getting that done. And getting in the first mural in Mundelein.
It'd be the first mural in Mundelein.
Yes.
So all you mural painters out there, perk up your ears, get your eyesights on something. This is going to, so it could end up being like, I know at one time, like there was a place in Florida, and it was outside of the Miami proper. It was called Coconut Grove. And I know that was like years back. Now it's real high end. But at one time, I'm an old lady, I'm 85, it was considered to be like an art community. So Mundelein has the potential of being a really strong art open community.
Yes.
It will attract artists I think that's a really good thing. So that's a really good vision.
And when you have artists and when you have art in the community, that helps the economic growth of a community. This is the banker in me speaking. But it also helps just the general well-being and making Mundelein a more welcoming community to be in.
I know, it's often stated that, art is the chicken soup for the soul. That's the comfort food for the soul. And, that this is something that we're born with. And I'm a firm believer that everybody has some sort of talent. We ourselves have to know it's a God-given talent, and that we have to develop it. We have to develop it, and we have to help develop the idea of art, in our communities. We have to be supporters of it.
We have a wonderful organization that is also grassroots. It's called Northern Lakes Arts Collective. And the goal of that group is to build a center for the arts where we would have shows as well as galleries.
Well, that's a wonderful idea, but it costs a lot of money.
We have gotten through the first phase of fundraising,
Yes.
where we've hired an architect to
Oh, that's good.
do the design of the building,
And you have
and
the-
obviously
the
the next
ground?
phase is getting
Yeah.
the money.
Yeah, that's the hardest part. Is
Correct.
getting the money. But when it's a good thing, and when it's a good thing and it's the right timing is significant. Things seem to come together. There seems to be a way to get it. So now the people involved now. You're all charter members.
Correct.
Of the commission. We're
But
actually
the-
appointed by the mayor to be on the commission. But we also have some other independent organizations, such as Northern Lakes Art Collective. We have the Kirk Players, who have been in Mundelein many years.
Yeah, we've had the Kirk Players on our show several times.
We have Mundelein Community Connection. We have Park on Park. We have the Fine Arts Festival through the Park District. And we have the Farmers Market, where there's always music, including myself, that I play at.
Well, listen, you young guys, we're going to have you back, God willing, because I'm sure that this is going to take off, and you're going to really experience the growth from it. But this is the end of this segment right here, and when you come to the end of your rope, you tie a knot and hang on, and you know why? Because the best is yet to come. What we want you all to do this week is catch the spirit. God bless you. We love you. Good show.
I thought I